Hi everyone, it's Amy and welcome back to another amazing episode of Empowering You TV. I'm so glad you're here. Today's episode is going to be so much fun. I just want to also invite you that you're here. My name is Aime Hutton. If you've not met me yet, hello. And I grew up in Pickering, Ontario, and now currently I live in Calgary, Alberta. Calgary, Alberta is north of Montana and it's next door to British Columbia up here in Canada. Each week, you'll hear remarkable stories of women who have beaten the odds, risen above all challenges, and are now living the amazing full lives on like the brave, empowered women I know they're born to be. For more information on how to be featured on the Empowering You TV, please reach out to me, Amy, at inchbyinchempowerment.com. And also just to let you all know, I'm actually booking into July, August, September. Everything is full for the rest of the first part of the year. So February, March, April, May, June are all booked. So come on board really quick because it seems to be growing and I'm excited. For today's show, I'm actually really excited that my friend Paula is here today. She and I have known each other through different activities, different speaking engagements and trainings, and the eWomen Network that you may hear me talk about from time to time. And she's really remarkable. But she did share with me her actual little bio, so let me share a snapshot of her for you right now. For inspirational speaker, author, and master intuitive, certified coach, and goddess, Paula Hopwood lives life full on. It's all about turning her dreams into reality. Coming from an abusive background, Paula changed her whole mindset from one poverty and extreme negative to one possibility, prosperity, and abundance, hope, transformation, and love. Change is inevitable. However, growth is optional. When Paula discovered this, she left her negative mindset behind and made the choice to become the person she's always envisioned she could be. Along the way, Paula learned the necessary lessons to set a person free from the bondage of negativity, awakened her true goddess self, and now shares the most important lessons with people from all walks of life. Paula is honored to support people to realize their dreams and to live life to the fullest. As Paula says, life is for living, bring it on. So hello, Paula, nice to see you today. How are you doing?
Hi, Amy. It's wonderful to see you too. And I'm doing great. So how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome. I have my tea on the go. You know, it's kind of cold here, as we both know, in Alberta right now. So a nice cup of tea is warming up my heart and everything else right now. So I'm quite excited. And you have a pretty impressive little story there, my dear. I'm pretty happy to hear it and read it. So I know where you are, but how about you share where you are in the world?
Okay, that's a loaded question because I mean I know you're talking physically, but where I am in the world also goes into my story. So where I am physically in the world is 2 hours south of Calgary, right at the beginning of Crow's Nest Pass and beautiful Lumbrick, right above the Lumbrick Falls. And I'm looking outside right now at the gorgeous mountains, which I can finally see after 3 days of a snowstorm. We're calling it like snowpocalypse and snowmageddon. I have a balcony right out my bedroom and there's 3.5 feet of snow on it. It all came in 48 hours. So just crazy. But it's so beautiful here, and this is definitely where I'm supposed to be, and it is a good place to be. And so that's why I was saying it kind of ties into my story, because where am I in the world? Right where I'm supposed to be.
Oh, for sure. And I have heard part of your story before, but let's talk about it. So what in your life have you overcome? And can you share that briefly, that story with us?
Sure. So it all started way back when, once upon a time, when I was a little girl, and some things happened to me when I was 5 years old by a male babysitter that, you know, should never happen to any little girl. but they happened to me. And it kind of set me up for a lifetime of sabotaging myself, of thinking poorly of myself, bad decision after bad decision. Some more things happened when I was a teenager. Some things, again, your first love, your first boyfriend, some things your boyfriend shouldn't do, but they do, Yep. Then went on to college, got engaged, and I married the king daddy abuser of them all. And I was married to him. And, a lot came out of that. I had 2 boys, which was awesome. And he used to take it upon himself every day to hurt me. And I would take it personally. At that time, I thought everything happened to me. And I got more and more and more depressed and more depressed until I hit the point where I became suicidal. And many, 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 many suicide attempts, and failed at even doing that, until one day I didn't fail. And so I sit before you today. Everything's okay. Like, I'm here. You can pinch me, but I did go up into the white light. And I have a near-death experience, which was honestly one of the best things that could have happened to me, because I knew who I was then. And I knew that whole lifetime, picking abusive, toxic relationships, drinking. I started drinking when I was 13, sabotaging myself, just not putting myself first, not even putting myself second, third, or fourth, like, I felt I was garbage. I felt I was used up. I did not feel good about myself at all. When I came back out of the white light, came back to my life, I knew who I was, and I started making some changes. I decided to start living positively. And, it isn't just like, it is as easy as flipping a switch, but it's not as easy as flipping a switch. And I kept hearing these words in my head. My head was going, what I allow will continue. And I knew that the common denominator in every situation in my life had been me. I had blamed everybody else for everything, but really it had been me. And it really woke me up. But what I allow will continue. And I took a look at that and I thought, well, if I want to be positive, then it's up to me. So I started seeking out positive people, positive situations. I was still married at the time. It didn't seem to matter what he said to me or did. It just didn't matter anymore. Long story short, he left. He couldn't handle the new positive Paula. And when he left, I did what came natural to the new Paula. I changed the locks and I smiled. Yeah. And from there I went on and I met my twin flame soulmate husband, who I'm married to now. We're coming on 13 years. We've had 2 more children. I became a certified empowerment facilitator, a certified empowerment mentor, a certified John Maxwell coach. I became an author. I didn't realize I was an author with all the writing I was doing, but apparently, it catches up with a person. I even went to Guatemala with the John Maxwell team to facilitate positive leadership values. And it was a real eye-opener for me that, people down there, they didn't have a role model to follow. They didn't have anybody to follow, and I just felt so honored to be there and giving back, and it was just wonderful. So turned my whole life around, not an alcoholic anymore. I attract, obviously you're a friend. I attract bubbly, happy people, that are good for me. I believe in myself and going out there and doing things and my children happy, husband happy, relationship awesome. Yeah. Off the charts.
That sounds pretty awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Wow. I totally didn't know about the part about how you failed at committing suicide or attempting to commit suicide. And as one of my teachers said, he also tried to attempt suicide, and someone said to him that, I'm glad you actually failed at something. You failed at killing yourself. So thank you, Paula, for failing at attempting, failing to kill yourself, because you're still here, live in person. So Grateful. I'm so grateful. If you could change anything in your life that happened to you in your past, what would that be and why?
Oh, we just froze up there for a second. What did you ask?
I'm asking about if you could change anything that happened in your life in the past, what would that be and why?
You know, I've often thought about this, right? Because I have quite a few huge people that were monumental to my change in my life. And like I've already mentioned, my first husband, I mean, boyfriends, the molester, different friends in my life, a lady who was a partner of mine that took millions of dollars from me and two other investors. But there's nothing I want to change. If I wouldn't have went through those things, I wouldn't be who I am today. It's because of those things. I could have went to the dark side. Believe me, I could have went to the dark side, you know, betrayal, you know, big time in my life. But I just believe that like our past, it sets us up for our future, whether we want a dark future or a bright future full of light, right? Yeah. And so I've thought about that, and I just think, oh, I'm glad it's all behind me. Believe me. You know, so glad. Thank you. You know, yeah. But I honestly, my biggest life transformation lessons, and I'm able to help others with, even because of them, come from the worst times in my life. So I would not change a thing. I mean, nothing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. And I've heard it both sides. I've heard people say, no, I would change XYZ, or no, I can, looking back at it now, I'm grateful for whatever that happened to me, and I can move forward and help others. So I totally get where you're coming from. Paula, I think I know what your why is, but can you tell us and why you do what you do today?
Well, why I do what I do today is like I said, I discovered who I was. I remembered who I was. It was shown to me who I was. And as I began to look back over my life, it didn't matter whether I was training horses or working in a bakery or running a stable or being a real estate investor. It was always about adding value to people and helping people better themselves. So I've always been driven for this. And, you know, I call it a calling. There is a part in my heart that, yes, of course, my kids are my why and my husband is my why, but it is way bigger than that. You know, as a fellow speaker, you know, we don't just get up on stage just to hear ourselves talk, right? You know?
No, we don't. I mean, yeah, our speaker coach would agree.
Right. So, you know, I have to get my message that beats in my heart and soul out there, you know, speaking, workshops, books, you know, everything. I just have to get that message out there. And so my why is it's a calling. It's who I am, you know. I've tried to run from it. I really have. You know? I mean, I have my dark times too, and I've tried to run from it, and I always come back to it because it is who I am. It is.
Yeah. And yeah. I have a really good feeling that this must go into your business somehow.
Yes.
So how about you share what your business is about and what you do?
Okay. Well, I inspire and empower and equip others to go out and release what's holding them back and to live the life of their dreams, whatever that may mean to them. You know, we're all individual, but, you know, we're all individual. We all have our individual issues, but we also have very common issues, you know, like we have to release fear. We have to get rid of that negative self-talk. We really need to know who we are, right? And so what I do is I help people with that. And I've got workshops, coaching, one-on-one sessions, just, you know, somebody just wants one session. I've got some new stuff coming up this year I'm pretty excited about. We're heading into the retreats. So
that's awesome. That's awesome.
In 3 days than they can in a day. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Am I losing? Oh, okay.
A little bit. And if that does happen, Paula, just keep talking because I'm recording on my end.
Okay.
So with your business, do you have any testimonials you can share, a story from a client that has changed or transformed because of your business and because of you helping them?
Oh, yeah. Quite a few of them, but I'd like to share the one from this morning. And I was talking with somebody I coached for a very short time, maybe like 8 months, once a week. We quit coaching last year around this time when I started to get ready to move. And we've kept in contact with texting and the odd phone call, but nothing really spectacular. But so this morning we caught up, and she let me know how amazing the time that she spent with me. I'm still floored over this. When she came to me, she wants me to use this as a testimony. So when she came to me, she was having horrible dreams. She's been hospitalized for years in mental institutions. Her mom used to drag her in when she was a little kid. And she had nosebleeds. She had all sorts of psychiatric drugs thrown at her and stuff. And she really felt like she was a mess and that she had to basically jump through everybody's hoops. She came to me. She just wanted the dreams to stop. The horrible, nasty, they were evil dreams that she would have every night. Well, she says, due to the coaching she went with me, our sessions, that she ended up, her dreams got better. They're not scary anymore. They're not evil anymore. She knows who she is now, and she's empowered that she can speak her mind and say, no, that doesn't work for me. I'm going to go live my own life. She's from the Edmonton area, and she's moving to Invermere because she wants to go. Yeah, she wants to go and be up in the mountains. And so, anyways, I was just floored at it. I wrote down a couple of things. She said that I brought out confidence in her, and you can just hear it in her, And then the other cool thing is she's actually a really a natural healer. She heals people, and before she was so shut down, and it was just a desire of hers. Now she's going out and healing people, and she's attracted to different workshops and trainings, and so she's pouring into herself, right? And I'm just so proud of her. I mean, just moving to the mountains alone, and that's huge for somebody, like to move from a city and then move all that way into the mountains and be where she wants to be, right? Yeah. So I think that was really, really cool. And she was thanking me, and I was just like, wow, wow, like, thank you for telling me.
That's awesome. That's really, really awesome. Totally. And I moved across the country in university. I finished university in 2000 and got a job working out for the YMCA Camp G Factor. And in August of 2000, instead of going back home, I phoned my parents with love, and I said, I love you. Please send me my stuff. I'm not coming home. So yeah, totally. So thank you for that, Cher. That's a beautiful testimonial. That's awesome. Let's flip gears a little bit. And I want to get some other questions from you. How do you stay empowered in your life?
Oh, wow. You know that saying, you're like the 5 people you hang around with? Mm-hmm. Yeah, something to that effect, right? 5, 6 people. I realized that the people I was hanging around with before were not helping me on my journey. They were hindering me, right? And I just naturally started, because I started feeling better about myself, I started calling in all these other people who poured into my life, who were like a sisterhood to me. And so I on my journey, the way I keep empowered, the way I feed into myself is I surround myself with like-minded individuals, very positive, very real, very loving. Of course, I take workshops, I go to events as much as I can, get there and I pour into myself. I just think, I used to think way back when that, once your education was done, even post-secondary, that you're done, right? Mm-hmm. But lifetime is a journey, and it's a quest for me. It's a quest to keep bettering myself, developing myself, keep it going. Books, CDs. When I buy a book, I also buy the CD so I can listen to it in my vehicle, right? Because I've got at least a 2-hour drive wherever I'm going, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I just keep it in front of me. I like, I just love it. Anything that lifts me up. Music, really love music. Just, yeah, that's a big one for me too.
Yeah, we're going to get into that next. What is a book, a song, or I'm going to add this into a movie that empowers you to keep going in your own life?
Oh, okay. Well, I have a song that means a lot. There's so many books, by the way, that have touched my life. But there's one song in particular and it always seems to show up right when I need it to, like if I'm having an indecision or something big is going in my life. And that song is Firework by Katy Perry. And I even have it printed out, the lyrics, right? Because I love it so much. And it is definitely my song. It's the song for a lot of women, a lot of men, but it just pumps me up, and it reminds me of who I am, and I just love it so much. As for a movie, I'm going to see if I get this right. We Bought a Zoo with Matt Damon in it.
Tell me more.
Yeah. We Bought a Zoo. So his wife dies, and he's got 2 kids. I think it's 2. Anyways, he's the photographer, and he ends up, he's always led his life really safely. And because of his wife's death, he decides to move his kids and go buy like an acreage or something, out in the country. Ends up buying one of these little zoos that people run, but it's been run into the ground, right? And all these animals need care, and he's not going to give up, right? So during this whole time, he's dealing with his kids and their issues with the mother passing and living there and stuff. And it's just an amazing story, but I'll never forget one of the lines in the movie. And I got shivers going up and down my body over this. He's sharing with his kids when he first met their mother in this coffee shop cafe thing. And he's standing outside the window looking at this woman. He's never met her before. And he thinks to himself, 20 seconds of insane courage. If I have 20 seconds of insane courage, what can I change? So he goes into to the cafe, and he sits down, and I don't remember what he says to her, but whatever, he charms her, and, obviously they get married and have kids. But 20 seconds of insane courage, that's all it takes. And I was like, blown away. I love that movie. And I use that all the time. When I'm having my dark times, when I don't believe in myself or something, because I have them sometimes, I get tired or something happens. Then I think, wait a second, who are you? And then 20 seconds of insane courage. And away I go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. You and I share the similar song with, many songs, but one of them is also for me, Firework by Katy Perry. And a little story I hinted I would share with you when we connected on Facebook earlier yesterday, is that when I first decided to start being an entrepreneur part-time, I was really, really unsure and really, really feeling unstable on my feet about it all. And a friend of mine who I used to do dance lessons with, she sent me Katy Perry's video, the lyrical video on YouTube, and I remember listening to it and just crying and going, oh my God, okay, like if that isn't a sign from her and the universe and God's spirit, Buddha, then what else is it? So yeah, that song for me as well is quite touching. So yeah.
Because baby, you're a firework. Come on, show them what you're worth. Like
totally.
Love it.
Yeah. So what's one simple step that our viewers can do to empower themselves?
A simple step is knowing that you matter. And those aren't just words. Know that you matter. So often, many of us, we put our children before us. We put our moms before us. We put, siblings before us. Heck, we're Canadian. We'll even put the person in the grocery line up before us, which, yes, there's having manners. I'm not saying don't have manners, but what I'm saying is when we put everyone else's needs before ours, and we end up draining ourselves, and we don't think well of ourselves, and we just become this empty shell. And it's kind of like the oxygen mask on an airplane, right? So when there's issues on an airplane, the oxygen mask will drop down. And if you have maybe somebody beside you on the seat that you need to help out, whether it be your child or another loved one, or even a stranger that needs help, you need to put your oxygen mask on so you can take in the nourishment, like take in the oxygen and be strong in order to help this other person. Because if you go around putting oxygen masks on everybody around you, you are going to die, right? You're going to drop. And so know that you matter, and know that you matter enough that you got to take care of yourself. Be that, take an extra long bath, go on that trip, surround yourself with people who build you up, right? Know that you matter. You matter, right?
Yeah, totally.
That would be
that one nugget. That's awesome. Now, I've actually, now that you've said that, I have a funny feeling, curious question in my head, if this is the same thing you're going to answer with our next question, and that is, what is one message you would want to tell the next generation of girls about empowering themselves? So, for example, if you could go back in time and tell your 11-year-old self something, what would it be?
That's interesting, because yes, you matter is a good one. But honestly, if I had to go back and tell my 12-year-old self something, and maybe it's because this is the one that got through to me, is what you allow will continue. Whether that's good, bad, or indifferent, what you allow will continue. So you got to look at what's going on, right? Because we're in charge of ourselves with this. Mm-hmm. And my Skype is bubbling at me here. But yeah, so what you allow will continue. And I say it, to my kids, I'm hoping that it's taking root in them.
Nice. Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, I like that one. Thank you. So, Paula, what's coming up for you that our viewers should know about?
I have a book coming out, and it's been at the publishers now for about 1.5 years, and I did not know it would take that long. But that's okay, because it's supposed to come out when it's supposed to come out, right? And it will come out in its right timing. And so what I've got coming up is this book, Messages in My Mind. And it's actually a lot of the messages that I heard in my mind as I was changing from negativity to positivity. And they're all individual messages. And what I want this book, it's a small little book, like not very many pages and small, so that you can put it in your purse. And then you can read it cover if you want, or you can just open it up. It's one of those books that, hey, that's for me today, and very, 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 very deep intuitive messages. And they, I didn't write down every message, but I wrote down a lot, and so it's a very, very beautiful, love-filled book.
That's awesome. That's so cool. So that's what's coming up. But I want to stretch you a little bit. And what's Paula? What's another intention you've set for yourself?
Yeah. Okay. I alluded to it at the beginning there. I have taken a 1-day workshop that I was doing, renamed it, and lengthened it out because A, I felt it needed that, and B, the women were asking for it. And I'm super, super excited and working towards it to have one in June, the Goddess Revival. And it will be a sort of a Friday night to Sunday afternoon retreat. And I'm so pumped about it because, we're going to learn who we are. We're going to learn why we think the way we do. We're going to learn what's been holding us back. We're going to learn how to let go of what's holding us back. We're going to learn how to find our voice. We're going to learn how to release that inner goddess and walk in our true identity. Not to mention, hanging out with a community of goddesses, of these women together, and we'll grow and love. So I'm super pumped about it, and I'm calling it the Goddess Revival.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah. That's so fantastic. Paula, how can they contact you?
Probably the easiest way is paulahopwood.net or paulahopwood.com. And in that, that's my website. And in that, you can go to the contact me page. And that email goes straight to me and straight to my email, and I can return that. That's the easiest way. You can find me on Facebook. Twitter is at Paula Hopwood. Instagram, hello. Paula with the underline Hopwood. But the easiest way would be through the website, paulahopwood.net or paulahopwood.com. Either one of those will take you straight to it. And go through the contact me page.
That's brilliant. And we will show that website in this video. You'll see it in a little bit. So Paula, I've really enjoyed talking with you. Like, really enjoyed talking with you. It's been awesome. Do you have any final words of wisdom or golden nuggets that you want to share with the viewers today?
Well, I'd just like to go over it again. Of what you allow will continue. Good, bad, indifferent. How you treat yourself, how you let others treat you, how you think, that what you allow will continue. And know that you're worthy and that you matter. You know, write it on a piece of paper. I matter. I am worthy. Whatever it takes, do it, because you are worthy and you matter. You know, because baby, you're a firework.
That's awesome, Paula. That's awesome. It was a pleasure having you on Empowering You TV. Just hang tight for a couple of seconds. I'll come back to you when we're complete. So that's our show, everyone. And I have so enjoyed having you here with us. And just remember and know that inch by inch, you can overcome any challenge that is in front of you. I believe in you, and I know you can get through anything. Till next time, be brave, be bold, and be yourself. Bye.